Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 songs you didn't know were written by Mick Jagger.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10, As Tears Go By, Marianne Faithfull.
It is the evening of the day. I sit and watch the children play.
A common theme you'll find in this list is that Mick wrote them alongside Keith Richards, and that's the case with this song, which is actually the first the two ever wrote in their career. They realised they couldn't just go through life covering other people's music and decided to try their hand at writing.
All I hear is the sound of rain falling on the ground. I sit and watch as days go by.
As the story goes, they put this song together and thought it was absolute rubbish, but after submitting it to their manager, Andrew Loog Oldham, he was impressed. Still, Jagger wasn't keen on it being part of their own library, so they opted to sell it off, and it landed on Marianne Faithfull's lap.
I sit and watch as days go by.
Number 9, When Blue Turns to Grey, Tracy Day.
Then blue turns to grey.
Tracy Day couldn't have asked for a better assist in her musical career. One of her earliest releases was this track, which was passed to her by Jagger and Richards, and it has their fingerprints all over it. It's about as 60s as rock can get.
Then blue turns to grey. And try as you may, you just don't feel good.
The later cover of this song by Cliff Richard may be more popular, but still, if you're a Stones diehard, you ought to check this one out.
Each day you die a little more for him till you come back home to stay. Then blue turns to grey.
Number 8, Silver Train, Johnny Winter.
Silver train, keep a running. Guess I'm gonna get off now.
American musician Johnny Winter had a musical style not dissimilar to that of the Stones, so it's just natural that he ended up taking a track from Jagger.
And then I know one thing, but I still like the way she now puts it calm and honey.
You may know this song from the Stones catalogue, but it was actually released by Winter first, as he heard a demo and was enamoured with it. Jagger really does have the golden touch, it seems, as the album featuring it received rave reviews. Number 7, Strong Enough, the Jonas Brothers.
Been a hell of a week, but we made it. Yeah, we made it. Hear the bar shutting down, but we're staying. Yeah, we're staying.
This one's a bit of a stretch, and it'll either intrigue you or tick you off big time. Many were surprised to see Jagger and Richards credited as writers for this Jonas Brothers song, which was released in November of 2023.
So light me up, twist me something good, make it strong enough, last long enough.
Any Jagger fan will instantly realise that this song borrows the same melody from the Rolling Stones song Start Me Up, albeit using different lyrics about drinking and having a good time. Whether they had a hand in writing these new lyrics or not has yet to be verified, but we think we can all admit that it doesn't hold a candle to the original. Sorry, boys.
I'm never coming down.
Number 6, That Girl Belongs to Yesterday, Gene Pitney.
Last night I needed you so bad. I was alone and feeling sad.
Okay, back to business. American artist Gene Pitney actually had a pretty lengthy history with the Stones, as he was in the studio while they were recording one of their early albums. He even allegedly contributed piano work in some tracks. In kind, Jagger and Richards wanted to lend a hand to Pitney, and so they wrote That Girl Belongs to Yesterday.
You said you loved me too, my only girl told me a lie.
The two must have been pretty pleased with themselves, as this was the first time one of their songs written for other artists managed to crack the top 10 in the charts. Number 5, We're Wasting Time, Jimmy Tarbuck.
We're wasting time inside my mind.
You might recognise Tarbuck from any number of places. After all, the man has hosted all sorts of shows in his lengthy career. But you may of course just know him for his music. He was picked up by the label run by the Stones' manager, so it was only a matter of time before Jagger lent a hand.
Well, there's nothing that we're learning while her hands keep turning.
It's a cutesy little pop melody which admittedly won't be to everyone's taste. Thankfully it got a makeover in the Stones' Metamorphosis compilation album, which had much more of a cool factor.
Can't you see? Wasting time inside my mind.
Number 4, Sister Morphine, Marianne Faithfull.
Here I lie in my hospital bed.
That's right, Marianne Faithfull again. But this time you may question, don't I know that title from somewhere else? The answer is yes, as the Stones would later release their own version of the track in '71, which would find much more success and had some different lyrics.
Can't you see, Sister Morphine? I'm just trying to score.
Regardless, Jagger originally intended for this to be Marianne's, and it's a fantastic listen if you want to hear a different take on the classic. Around this time, Jagger and Faithfull were still living together, so it's only natural that they'd produce some magic, though Faithfull has suggested the writing was mostly her own.
Hey, Sister Morphine.
Number 3, Act Together, Ronnie Wood.
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen you. You're looking good.
Yes, you may remember that Rolling Stones guitarist Ron Wood did solo work before joining the Stones officially in '75. This album was released in 1974 and would actually feature a song written by his future bandmates Richards and Jagger. Hilariously, the title of this particular album is I've Got My Own Album to Do, which you would think was a reference to him making a move on his solo career. It's actually not.
Sure won't hurt you now. Sure won't hurt you now.
Jagger wasn't the only guest on the album, as it featured the likes of George Harrison of the Beatles and David Bowie. According to Ronnie, the title is actually in reference to the fact that they'd often whined that they wanted to leave the studio already so that they could work on their own music.
Why don't we try to get our love together? Once in a while, get our shit together.
Jagger also contributed backing vocals for the track, which certainly adds to its greatness. Number 2, So Much in Love, The Mighty Avengers.
No use crying now. You'll get by somehow.
Back in 1964, the Mighty Avengers cracked the charts in the UK with this track. The band was actually managed by the Rolling Stones themselves, so it should come as no surprise that it was written by Jagger.
But now, you know, I've changed my mind.
This wasn't the only track he had a hand in writing for the Mighty Avengers, however. Blue Turns to Grey, which was mentioned earlier in this list, also had a version recorded by this band. Sadly, So Much in Love would end up being the Avengers' only hit record.
You thought I was so much in love with you, yeah.
Number 1, Disease, Matchbox 20.
You made somebody's heart break, but now I have to let you go.
You simply couldn't escape Matchbox 20 in the late 90s and early 2000s, and Jagger was also drawn to the group. The band, which was popularised with songs like 3 AM and Unwell, had their lead vocalist Rob Thomas approached by Mick while he was working on his solo album Goddess in the Doorway.
Keep your distance from me, don't pay no attention to me. I got heart disease.
The two worked together on songs such as Visions of Paradise, but ultimately Jagger believed that Disease fit Matchbox 20's style much better, so he pushed it in Thomas's direction. The results were, of course, electrifying. The song charted highly and continues to draw listeners to this day.
Keep telling myself that it won't take long till I'm free of my disease. Yeah, I'm free of my disease.
What's your favourite song by Mick Jagger? Let us know in the comments below.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.